How you doing, people? Probably the last day in the greenhouse for a little bit. Thank God. Back to the saws. Loving it. Thought I'd bring you a little update on what's going on in here. Colin got the dirt in. I helped. I moved half of it. He did the other half. I had the easy half. I was on the tractor with a loader. We dumped in a little garden buggy right by the door. We put a piece of OSB on the floor so he could roll it around where he needed to, and he went to shoveling. What was like shoveling all that, Colin? Good times, huh?
After you're done, yeah.
After you're done. He's a little sore today. He deserves to be sore. He did a good job. But the good news is we got our onions in, and we got our carrots in, we got our tomatoes in, and it was quite a fun experience planting in here. Believe it or not, we put some propane heat. We got a little propane salamander, and so we went and had a 100-pounder filled, and that's a train in the background. That's not. Oh, look, it even whistles.
There's a clue.
That's a happy train. It's whistling. It's got to be happy. So anyway, we filled a 100-pound tank, and it's like 38 degrees outside. That's about what you say, 75 in here?
Yeah, balmy.
Yeah, it's balmy, tropical. It's at dew point. It's raining in here just a little bit. We get a drop here and there, a little mist and a haze. Looks like London fog once in a while in here. Look at these poor little veggies. Aren't they just the happiest little buggers you ever seen? Yeah, onions are behind them, carrots are in front of them. Upper boxes are full. There's my happy son.
Yeah, real happy.
Yeah. Tell him about your freaking experience with this whole project.
It's a lot more work than I thought it would be. Yeah, you throw up some boards, you put up some plastic. What's the big deal, right? These tables here took a lot of freaking material, I'll tell you that, and a lot of cutting. So that's where most of the darn work went. But we got plants in there, so hey, it's worth it so far.
Yes, we do. It got our entrance door. Set you back down here. That entrance door was compliments of a local contractor. He changed a couple doors in a garage, and the bottom had a little rust on that door. And he gave it to me, and I said, "Sure, I'll take it. Save me $200." I'd have built a door before I spent $200 on that. This is a greenhouse on the cheap, okay? I want you to know what greenhouse on the cheap means. It's a lot of freaking work to put together. What we've been 2 weeks on this, from start to finish, I believe.
Just about
2
12
weeks?
days, or if not 2 weeks. Yeah,
2 weeks. I think it's been 2 weeks, and with two people, I can tell you exactly how many 2x4s it takes to build this.
Yeah.
With the bases for the tables, it takes 100. Because we got two groups of 50, and we used every darn one of them. Well, we got 3 left over, but we had a couple 10-footers that we used in here.
3/4 of a truckload of 1x stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, by the time we got, it took a whole truckload of 1-inch boards. I mean, a big truckload to build these boxes. That center table, we had to build that brutally tough. I'll show you the base on this table. You're going to get a kick out of this. Get down here where you can see it. We weren't messing around.
There's more bracing on the inside, too.
Oh, yeah, it's got it. We haven't got that planted. We don't have the upper boxes planted.
Viking table.
Colin says we ought to build one of these darn tables to put in the house.
Oh, yeah, put a sword right in the middle of it. That's what I'm saying.
Boom, sword in the middle of the table.
Letter opener.
We have some business that needs to be taken care of in the morning. Probably late tomorrow, we're going to go out, start setting up in the saw room. Thursday's video, according to plan, will be your chainsaws. And hopefully for a little bit. We're supposed to have some cold weather. I'm not real concerned. I'm getting wet though, I can tell you that. I had to move over. I found me a place that it was...
That's that sprinkler system we installed.
And yeah, oh, that's another thing we did do. In the bottom boxes, we put inside in the dirt. We put little drip tubes all the way around them so we can water them.
Tell them the lessons learned on that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You can buy this stuff. It looks like packs, but it's just for what we used it for. Just half-inch ID. And you just roll it out. It's black. It bends real easy. You get a kink in it. You got to put a union in. We did that a couple times because you know how something in a roll is. We bought 2 100-foot rolls, and we got enough left to do the top boxes. Well, they'll be just in the back, the watering system for that, right against the board up on top. Because anything that goes in them, that'll be appropriate. But I'll tell you what, if you do that, we drilled our holes about every 12, 14 inches, and we put 2 rows of tubing in these boxes all the way around. And we didn't drill a real big hole about the size of a pencil lead. Well, if you do this,
964s, I think.
I think it was 964s.
Yeah.
If you do this, you want a teeny tiny little hole.
That was too
because we found out when we tried it before we put the dirt in that it wouldn't get to the end of the run. It'd spray like crazy in the corner where we started, but at the end of the run, halfway through it, it just wasn't nothing coming out. It lost its head of pressure. So we, being industrious kind of people we are, we ain't going to buy new tubing and hook it up. We put a sheetrock screw in every hole, and it worked. You just wiggle it around till you get it spraying like you want, and it just makes that nice dribbly all the way from one end to the other. Worked perfect. So I'm telling you, it would be a small hole. It would be a small little hole. I wouldn't dare even guess what size, but it ain't very darn big. But if you ever try that, doing it the way we did, I think them dribbler hoses would be easier because they're controlled, but they were way more expensive.
Well, there's things you can buy right off online and stuff. They're drip systems.
Yeah, they're a drip system.
If you wanted to buy them, you could buy them.
It would have been nice to have that. We have this project in with the lumber. It's right about $600 is what this cost. What it cost. So that's quite reasonable. Now, if you went uptown and bought your 2x4s, you made $1 grand.
Yeah.
But it's 16 by 20. I think that's an appropriate size. I was gonna show you a different type of saw blade. I'll tell you a little bit about it, and I'll show you in a real soon video. Boy, I can't wait to get back to these saws. I've really enjoyed my time building this. It would have been more fun if we weren't pressed for time so bad, because we had no time to get this running, and I got saws to build. I've got other things that need to be taken care of. Now life should be returning back to normal. And in probably a week, I'll probably put my sweet corn in. The ground's ready to go. All I got to do is just take a few hours and put it in one day. So that's good. 1st of June, I'm going to plant my potatoes. And I'll show you a little bit about that when we do it. It's just nothing much. Saw videos are king. I can't wait if it'll just quit raining here so we can go out in the bush and cut some wood. We got trees to cut. We got firewood to cut. We got saws to build. I want this as fast as possible to be on a normal program. And I want to get back where I can do like 5 videos a week. I really enjoy doing that. I miss making videos, but this has been a tedious project, and it's all that we've been concentrating on. And to try to show this blow by blow, you don't want to see 14 darn videos of the same thing constantly. You just don't. There is things we've learned about greenhouses, and we ain't even grown anything yet. there is things we learn.
You have to have furring strips. You have to have them, or you have no choice. The whole plastic on the back wall blew out before we finished this thing up, and I had to go back and staple it up again.
Yeah, what he's referring to is we had half the front wall exposed
To get dirt in here.
Well, when we closed the north wall up, when we got done putting dirt in the first day, or second day it was, it took 2 days to do this, which is admirable. That's a lot of freaking dirt. A lot of yards of dirt, you calculate it out. And the air pressure, we had 45, 50 mile an hour wind gusts and a 30 mile an hour constant. Well, it de-stapled the freaking plastic on this wall over here and let it blow. No big deal. We fixed it. We got her up ship shape. Once the dirt was in, we was able to close this thing right off tight as a drum. We had some good wind last night. No problem at all. But you gotta have fern strips everywhere. Yeah, you really do. We're gonna do some hanging basket plants in here. A few sooner than later. There's like marigolds. We're gonna plant some of them in here. They're good. I think we're gonna do. Nasturtiums. I know we got some of them. Zinnias. We got some zinnias to put in here. But I want to get some hanging pots going in here. But I'll tell you what, for a 16 by 20 area, we planted an awful lot. I'll share the mistakes. I will. I'll share what worked. I'll bet you next year we do even a better job. You know what's nice calling about next year?
More dirt to shovel?
We don't have to build a greenhouse.
It's just shoveling dirt and putting up more boards.
Some things we bedded with peat moss to hold moisture. Some things we didn't. Like the seed onions, I didn't feel they're just in there tiny, and they get thin. The beets, they're down an inch, and they're 4 inches apart. And I'll tell you what, that's going to be a mess of beets if they come up. Savoy cabbage, well, we put in what would be probably 20 heads. They take a little bit of room. I love that stuff. Makes good sauerkraut. It's the sweetest cabbage I ever had. It's the best cabbage. It'll keep okay in the winter, but not like the hardhead or something like that. That cabbage really keeps good. The reason we're planting our potatoes in the 1st of June is we want them for winter keepers. They're Kennebec. So we want winter keepers. And so that's going to be fun. I'm sorry we haven't done the video content that we normally do. Life gets in the way sometimes. This is a weird year. A lot of the plans that we've had got canceled because of everything going on in the world. Just did. We're just getting through this. Just sneaking through. I'm waiting to see where this all lands. Hopefully we all learn from this. We share information on how things went, what we did and didn't do right during this little emergency we've had, which seems to be it's going to last quite a while, I'm afraid. Buck up. Best we can do, just buck up. I don't know. I'll show you our little heater. That's something neat. I bought a little propane salamander for the garage, probably 8 years ago. And I've used that everywhere but it seems like. It's funny. Like when I pull my truck in, I got to do something real instant, like change the starter and it's below zero. I got that so I can blow heat under that while I'm working on it in the shop without lighting a big fire and waiting 4 hours for it to heat up. But I need a little table over by that door, Colin. Needs to be just about a foot, 16 inches maybe. That's what I need, but I'll show you our little heater. It ain't much, that little red thing, just a little thing. It does a good job. Yeah, but right there between them studs where that propane tank is, I think I need a 16-inch shelf by the width of them studs. And I'll tell you why. We end up periodically carrying something in here. And when we carry it in here, we've been just setting it on one of these tables that's got dirt in it.
Can't do that anymore.
Nope, can't do that.
Someone put all these dang plants in here.
I know it. We still got the center box to do today and the upper bunks. And that's going to take probably the rest of the day to get that in. So we better get back to it. Stay safe, brothers and sisters. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Goodbye.